Chapter 34, The Door Beneath the Waves. Location, Porthkerry Sea Caves. The tide was lower than it should have been. Bronwen didn't trust quiet seas, not when they were holding something back. She stood at the edge of the rocks, the gray stretch of water before her as flat as a held breath. Wind curled around her coat, tugging strands of curly silver hair into her face. She didn't bother brushing it back. With a huff, she reached into the inner lining of her coat, pulled out a battered tin and thumbed open the lid. She struck a match on the side of a stone and lit a thin, crooked cigarette, one she'd rolled herself earlier that morning. The flame flared briefly against the wind. She took a long drag and muttered to herself, "If I drown doing this, I'm haunting the fucking coastline." Behind her, a young witch paced nervously along the broken path. "I'm not going with you," the witch said eventually, halting by a jagged stone marked with salt lines. "No shit," Bronwen muttered, exhaling smoke through her nose. "You think I brought you down here for a sea picnic?" The witch hesitated. I can't, not into that place. I haven't got your blood. I haven't got angel in me." Bronwen turned, one brow raised. "You just figuring that out now? You could have warned me. Would you have come?" "No." "There you go then." Bronwen turned back to the sea. "Now shut up and don't get dragged under." The witch stayed silent after that. Bronwen descended alone, picking her way over black rock and slick seaweed until she reached a tide pool deeper than it looked. One few dared to go near. The water there was wrong. It shimmered silver around the edges, like the moon was bleeding into it. She dropped to one knee, cigarette clenched between her teeth, muttering as she reached inside her coat and removed the artefact. A crystalline object wrapped in something like barnacle and glass, the Tideglass Heart. It pulsed with memory. She took the cigarette from her lips, exhaled one last plume, and stubbed it out on a rock. Then with her free hand, she placed her palm flat over the water and whispered the words, "Mayor Morin Kofio, Agorch idrus wrong ito now. Gedosh wed your angel dod a dref." The pool didn't ripple. It recoiled. The water drew down like a throat opening, glowing from within. Light burst up in a silent column, silver and sea blue, casting shadows across Bronwen's face. Then the sea angel rose, not by movement but by presence. She formed where the light touched the surface. A tall figure woven of sea light and pressure, calm and cruel in equal measure. "You shouldn't have taken it," the sea angel said. Bronwen snorted. "You're welcome too, by the way. That artifact belongs beneath. It holds knowledge that cracks the surface." "Yeah, well, the surface is cracked anyway. You just weren't paying attention." The sea angel's expression didn't shift. Bronwen stood fully, barely 5 foot, but somehow towering in attitude. "I brought it back," she said, holding up the artifact. "I said I would." "You came for answers," the sea angel replied. "Not redemption," Bronwen scoffed. "Redemption's for the guilty. I want truth." She stepped closer, meeting the angel's gaze without flinching. "I've seen your son," she said. That made the tide suck inward, a hiss under the rocks. "Don't bother looking like you don't care," Bronwen added. "He's walking the seams of time like they're nothing, turning up around Decima, watching her." "She is blood," the sea angel said flatly. "He's watching her like she's more than that," Bronwen snapped. "Like she's a key." The sea angel remained still. "I know he's not fully yours," Bronwen said. "Not really. He's got his father's starlight in him, and that thing doesn't sleep." Now the angel looked at her. No flicker, just ice. "I know what he is," she said coldly. "Do you?" Bronwen challenged. "Because I've seen what he wants, and what he can do. There's something moving underneath all this, deeper than witches and dragons and your drowned pride. This war, it's the surface. Something else is coming. Something from the stars." A long pause stretched between them. Then, as if spoken from far off, "Your daughter lives." Bronwen froze. She was not lost, the sea angel continued. "Only sealed. Between realms. The witches tried to erase her. We failed to stop them. Gainer." The name was almost a breath. "She's breathing," the angel said. "But not free." Bronwen said nothing. Her hands shook, but only briefly. Then, without ceremony, she dropped the Tideglass Heart onto the stone. It didn't break, it sank, like it belonged there. "You've returned something powerful," the sea angel said. Bronwen shrugged. "Yeah, well, I want something back next time." "You've tipped the tide." I am the tide, Bronwen growled. Tell your council. Tell whoever's still listening beneath those waves. This isn't over. The angel vanished like foam drawn backward by a wave. Bronwen turned away before the silence returned. She didn't wait to see if the sea swallowed the light. She didn't need to. She was already halfway up the rocks when she pulled another cigarette from her coat and lit it with a flick of her thumb, a tiny flame sparking from a silver ring enchanted. Years ago. I'm fucking fine, she muttered. We've just gone from one war to another. And this time the stars are watching,